Hello, guys. So this is me. I think I was off for a couple of days, just getting myself together a little bit. It was a little busy for me. So I want to talk about briefly because I'm on a small break. So I want to talk about briefly molestation and molestation as it pertains to different cultures as well. Okay. Um, And I want to talk about specifically molestation with black women, since that's the majority of the people that listens. Okay, and you guys, if you want to, can share your stories. But this is a topic that has been on my heart for a long time, and I want to talk about this more. Um, a lot of black women are deeply damaged up in old age. That's why when I started making my content in March of last year, I made it. A lot of people like to go up to the after the Bonquishas and the women in the hood or whoever's considered to be hood rats and stuff like that. Most of the black women to me that were damaging to the community that I addressed in most of my audios were not the Bonquishas. Most of the black women that I addressed were educated, they had degrees, they had influence, you know, they had large platforms. Those are kind of the ones I would say I addressed the most. Because here's why. Because those are the type of black women that a lot of little girls aspire to be. The same way a lot of little boys aspire to be like maybe Snoop Dogg. The same way a lot of little boys aspire to be like Jay-Z, or basketball players or rappers or football players. That's the goal for a lot of little boys. The goal for a lot of little boys is not to become doctors, not to become wizards in computers, not to do that. And so, but for black women, it's not so much a Beyonce. Like black boys want to be cool like Jay-Z and Snoop and, all these other guys. Well, for black girls, it's not so much being cool like a Beyonce and Rihanna, even though you have some black girls that look up to them. But it's a lot of black girls that look up to these ladies that appear to be very classy and intelligent, okay? Like a Michelle Obama, okay? But the problem is that a lot of these other ladies have been abused themselves, even though they don't appear to be on their outward appearance. They might not always share the stories. And the problem is that these ladies that's intelligent, they have all these degrees that appear to be classy on television, at the same time defend rapists, pedophile, criminals altogether, especially in black neighborhoods. Those women are dangerous. And I consider them to be more dangerous because the Bonquishas, you can see from the outside that there's something, that you can see the Bonquishas for what they are, okay? You see them fighting on camera. You see what comes of them. You see a lot of them end up on welfare for having 3, 4, 5 children, from different guys, So the thing about Bonquisha is that they're almost like an open book, and you can pretty much see what not to do with them. But for these educated women that appear to be classy on the outside, you don't see the same thing with them. And so, excuse me, their insidiousness is more hidden. And don't get me wrong, a lot of them ladies have been abused the same way those Bonquishas have been abused, okay? That everybody's just not going to be displayed in the same manner growing up. And that's why I addressed a lot of these intellectual women, these women with degrees and all these classy women and these women with big platforms. That's why I address them the most, because they are the ones that the little girls aspire to be, okay? And so the reason why I'm bringing up molestation is because molestation is a huge issue among black women and girls. Okay, a very huge issue. It's not to say that other women have not gone through that, because they definitely have. Okay, but you have women in other communities, not all of them, but you have women in other cultures that have more support against it with their peers. They are more, they receive more support from other women. Even the women, and I want to eventually share this video about women taking charge of their lives. Even women who were in other cultures, from other continents and other countries, who were oppressed by their own men, who are strong patriarchs, by the way. These Middle Eastern women have some very strong patriarchs, billionaires, and they still found the strength to stand up against the oppression because, in my opinion, the women are more supportive of each other. Even if 100% of those women are not trying to stand up against oppression, you have enough women who are standing up against the oppression to form a very strong movement. Not so much with black women, especially within the United States. You still have a lot of women who are so indoctrinated and so mentally abused, on top of physical abuse. They have been mentally abused, okay, that they defend pedophiles. I am seeing, and you guys let me know, this is just going to be an intro because I'm not going to go too far into it. I am seeing, I'm not on YouTube that much though, but I'm seeing where there's more black women defending R. Kelly, putting their faces on camera, because I don't know what's happening behind closed doors. I don't know what these men say behind closed door or in Facebook posts. I don't know what they're saying in their Twitters and their Instagrams. But as far as putting their face on camera, I see more black women defending R. Kelly's honor than I see black men putting themselves on camera. Okay, and I mean on camera. I don't know what people do behind the scenes. I'm talking about on camera. You guys let me know what you believe. And that is a problem. And you know, a lot of these ladies that are on camera making videos or whatever defending R. Kelly, they seem to be the one with the degrees. Okay, this is why I started my channel addressing those type of women from the very beginning, more than I addressed the Bonquishas, because the Bonquishas are an open book. You can see clearly who Bonquisha is, and you can make a decision if that's what you want your life to be, because you know what? You have seen the worst of them. Unless you want to live your life in that manner, that's up to you. But one thing black men and media have done altogether is really show the most negative aspects of those kind of women. Okay, so it's up to other, black women if that's how they want to live their lives. But they've been an open book. They've been exposed already, and that's why I don't really address them as much. They've been exposed. But these educated women, it's time to know who they really are, because I've been seeing this a lot of educated women defending predators, pedophiles, and criminals. Okay, and these are who the little girls look up to. And I want to get on molestation and support, especially black women and molestation and the support, because molestation is a huge issue. But the biggest issue to me with molestation is the lack of support amongst the black collective. And that's why I have made other audios. Okay, goodness, this phone gets hot so quickly. I've made other audios that black women seek support outside of the black community, outside of the black collective, and even outside of mostly black women. Okay, just to have somebody to talk to and to understand. Okay, to be more empathetic. Right now, it's kind of hard amongst this black collective, and a lot of black women don't really get the help they need, not only because of healthcare and accessibility, but also because a lot of black women are race first, okay? They still want to stick to their own people, which is understandable because other groups of people do the same thing. But the problem with black women wanting to stick to their own people is that their own people are not supportive of black women and girls. Their own people hate black women and girls, and that is unhealthy for you. And to receive proper support is best to expand your options to other groups of people who might have had a different experience when it comes to support within their culture, okay? And see the kind of support they receive, okay, instead of just sticking to black people. Because black women are furthermore abused after, excuse me, after the molestation. They're furthermore abused when they're told that it's their fault that they were molested at 5 years old, 4 years old, when they criticize them because it took them so long to speak up. Okay? But anyway, so you guys let me know your thoughts. This is just a little introduction, and I'll talk to you soon.